Alright, so let's make the marinade for this pork tenderloin or the dry rub. I really need to get a grill. I love grilled meat. Veggies too, but there's just something about some brisket, some ribs, all that good stuff. That's why I kind of miss living on the West Coast. Cook out all year round. So we got cumin. And it's good to measure your seasonings. Me, I'm kind of eyeballing it. But one of the things I like to make up, as you all can see, my recipes kind of as I go along. And I definitely do research. I look at what other people use. And I look at what I have on hand. So maybe one of these days I'll go to culinary school. We'll see. But I try to do an even amount. Some ginger. Y'all know I love ginger. Definitely have some brown sugar. The sauce is apple bourbon. I already have apples, so I'm definitely probably gonna throw them in a frying pan with some olive oil, some garlic, some onion, a little bit of tomato, just to thicken it up. This is nutmeg. Why did I bring? You know, I'm gonna put a little bit in it. Just grabbing seasonings. Some garlic salt. I love to cook. You know, I think it's a way we can share love and express love to our friends and family. Smoked paprika. This stuff is not a game. If I had some liquid smoke, maybe I guess I'm going to the grocery store. Some oregano. Some onion powder.
I've just been informed that you made your rounds, and I was wondering if everything's well.
Sea salt. I like kosher salt, like pink Himalayan salt. My little bowl here. I don't know why I cannot find my black pepper. Must have put it somewhere. Alrighty.
Well, for a little responsibility.
And this is MSG free. Yes, this is MSG free. Seasoned salt. And my seasonings, I got them relatively inexpensive at Walmart, at Harris Teeter, at Aldi's, Dollar Tree too. That's good.
Ought to be able to watch out for themselves.
Add some sweetness. Brown sugar. I don't really use white sugar. I prefer brown sugar. Better flavor. Alright. So I'm going to mix this up a bit. And this is why it's important to measure out. You don't want it to be too much. You don't want it to be too little. And I was taught that, you know, you add as you cook, so that way you can gauge. So this is my dry rub so far. Not bad at all. I'm going to taste it. I'm going to add a little bit more cumin. You can definitely taste the variety of spices, which is what I want. Alright, that's good. Gotta wash this. Then I'm going to season it, put it in a container, get it ready for tomorrow. Let me grab the container like that.
An important message for Americans aged 50 to 85.
Oh, much better. That was quite a scare.
This is some old school Pyrex. Alright, so let's go over to the sink. Put you here. Whoops. So you don't fall into the sink. Definitely don't want that. So I'm going to remove the dishes that are in the sink because I want a clean sink. It's always important to have a clean sink when you are cleaning food, washing dishes, the whole nine. This is my little baking dish. Anchor. If you can't afford Pyrex, look up Anchor. Just as good. A lot less expensive. You never cook in a dirty kitchen. That is an absolute no-no. Let's move this out the way. I got that soaking. Now, I'm going to clean out my sink. This thing has probably had it because it's not spraying. I'll probably clean out the bottle and try to reuse it. I do try to reuse things. So, for example, I like to use different oils on my skin. And the bottles, I save them because I buy bigger things of oil. My goal is to learn how to make my own oil. Alright, use this garbage disposal. Never put your hand down there or utensils. And when I say put your hand down there, while it's running, obviously. Alright. Wash my sink out. Alright. I love that it has this little spray thingy. Get nice and clean. Alright, now my sink is clean, I can get to work. Okay. Some people use vinegar, some people use different wash. I've always been taught you can use lemon. Well, I don't like to use lemon because of acidity, but salt and water can work as well. Thing is, you want to get your meat nice and clean. So let's first package all the blood, dump that out. It definitely was working. Well, I have my trash bag handy. With working with raw meat, you want to keep your area clean. So I'm going to put this over to the side. I'm going to cut this in half actually. So I want to do more research into seeing the different types of cleaners that are recommended for different types of meat. Because I like to make sure I'm doing things properly. I'm actually studying for my ServSafe food managers course. I got my salt. If anybody has any tips, feel free to share them in the comments. I am not somebody who takes offense to people giving their opinion. I only mentioned that because yesterday, all I made was a suggestion and the chef got so offended. I'm like, well, there are different ways to do things, darling. You're making a video where people can comment on it. What do you expect? And I'm never mean or anything like that because you can tell the difference between people, just want to have something to say. So I'm rubbing the meat with the water and the salt, pulling out a little bit of that fat that's on top. Do I keep my bag handy? I'm actually, the knife, see what I'm doing to the meat, just so that way the marinade, the dry rub can kind of go through. Alright. Alright, same thing here. Pulling off that little extra layer of fat. Rinsing it with nice hot water and salt. Some people do like a salt bath. It's very tender, good. Alright, same thing. Alright. Wash my hands, obviously. So. And then, because we want to be clean, now that I've washed my hands, I'm going to move this away because I don't want any chemicals or anything to get on it. Wash my dishes. My knife and my cutting board. You should have different cutting boards for different things. I actually got these chopping mats where it's very similar to like what we use in restaurants. And always never leave knives in the sink. That's how people can get cut. I saw that happen at work about a week ago. You do have to leave a knife. Leave it where it's not, the blade is not facing up in a dish drain or anything like that. Alright, so I need a little bit more soap. In a few moments, I'll be able to take my stuff off the stove. I can sit down and eat some food. You know, cooking food makes you hungry. I don't know about y'all, but I've not eaten since I got up. I woke up at 10. I went to bed like 1, so I was able to get a good night's rest, which is very, very important. And, I'm going to clean the sink. Why? Because we just had meat. We just had raw meat. So definitely with any kind of meat, you know, you want to keep it clean. Alright. Scrub out the sink. Rinse it down. This, because I don't like cross contamination. Closing it up. In the regular trash, it goes. That's why they say you cannot eat at everybody's house, because you don't know their own person. And before I cook, I take a shower. So I was fresh out of the shower with fresh clothes on, not my street clothes. These are just differences because working in commercial kitchens, you have to have your uniform. Your uniform has to be washed, it has to be clean, presentable. And I don't wear, like I see people wear their chef coat and stuff like that on the way to work. I don't like to do that. I like to change my clothes. I'm not wearing my street clothes in the kitchen. Wear an apron, protect your clothes, and to kind of create a barrier between your clothing and the food. Alright. There we go. So that is now cleaned out. I always use paper towels when I have to touch surfaces. For example, if I'm going in the refrigerator and I'm cooking, I don't want that all over my fridge and the handles and things like that. Alright. I feel much better. I just cannot stand filthiness. Absolutely not. Alright, let's check on this. It's boiling up good. I cut the heat up on this. Look at that. It's going to be the consistency that I wanted. So I mentioned that, you know, with stainless steel, I don't like to sear my meat or cook things that are heavy, just because I like those better for sauteing and things of that nature. Alright, so I got my, hold on, let me put this here. You guys can see. Alright. Almost done my coffee. Yay!
It proves your contempt for human life, even the life of your son.
My seasoning. And what I'm going to do. Also, if you find that you make too much of a seasoning, you can always save it. The key is you don't want to have touched the meat or whatever you seasoned it with in the dry rub. And this is a lot. I'm actually going to be using this for something else. So, I put a generous amount, as you can see. I have gloves. I'm gonna put my gloves on. I like to wear gloves when I have to touch meat and all that stuff, just so that way it doesn't get under my nails. A little bit more cleaner that way.
Does this prove anything? General Barry.
No, back. Bodies, obey me. Put down your right.
This is the food next door if you want to go.
Okay, thank you.
Food next door.
All right, so I got these 30 disposable nitrate gloves for food prep. So it comes in handy. Not made with natural rubber latex. Some people do have allergies to latex. All right. So this comes in handy. Here we go. It's definitely important that you always wash your hands when you are dealing with different kinds of meats, vegetables, things of that nature. Alright, so here we go. Some of the blood have ran off from this. So I'm just squeezing some of that out.
We have both killed our son.
I'm actually going to put
Is that
this in this little pan, this little container for a second. I want to get rid of this blood.
That can be forgiven in you who wants to be alive.
So I'm careful
Who can forgive
not to touch
who is the
anything.
man who is the general? Well,
Yes. I was very careful not to touch the faucet or anything like that. I'm going to have to rewash the sink. Not a big deal.
I'd like your permission to commandeer 5 of your
Alright.
I'll give you a
Put this in the sink so we can wash it for later.
I'll ride with you, Greyhawk, to Black Canyon, and we'll make our peace.
And I'm actually rinsing off my gloves
Climb to the top of the highest
just so that way I can grab a paper towel.
your feet.
I use a paper towel to turn off the faucet. I'm also going to use a paper towel. Let's get a little bit more of this rub going on. Alright. So, like this up. Alright. So, you want to season your meat, rub it in there. Now I can chop up some onions and stuff like that. Throw it in here. I don't have time because I gotta eat, take this stuff off, and get myself ready to work. I'm just constantly on both sides, as you can see. Lots of seasoning. That's why I poke those little slits so I can kind of get down in there. This is going to marinate for probably about 24 hours. It's not a big hunk of meat, which is good, but it's properly seasoned. As you can see. Both pieces, both sides. Alright. Good thing about gloves. Voila. Alright. So, still gonna wash my hands, rinse out the sink real quick. Should I chop up some onion and put it over top? We'll see. I'm washing my dishes. I'll be right back with you guys. I'm rinsing out this sink. My sink is nice and clean. Normally I chop up some onions and even some apples, throw it over top. I don't have time. So, got my plastic wrap. This is going in the refrigerator. I'm gonna take the dry seasoning, put that in a little baggie. It can be used again, or if I need more seasoning. I think this is pretty good. Let's get a good seal on this. There you go. So that's two things that I have prepped for tomorrow. I feel great about that. So now I'm going to be able to put up my seasonings, put everything up, and also you do not have to spend a lot of money on things like this, mixing bowls, cups, spoons, stuff like that. Check out your local dollar store. If you have local mom and pop's place, I like to support them. For sure, support local businesses, it is important. I'm not just always trying to promote corporations, so definitely I'll do some local shopping and share that with you guys. So all my seasonings, always keep your seasonings, the containers themselves clean. This is going to be so good. And again, this is the container that I was mentioning that I like from Bed Bath & Beyond. They're good for dry storage. I like to keep my sugars, my flours, cornmeal, stuff like that in them. So, now that I'm not going to be using these seasonings, put this up as well. And again, I use a paper towel, so I'm not touching stuff. So this is actually what I'm taking to work. Leftovers. That is the peas and rice that I had made, a little bit of the London broil, and the sweet potatoes. Going to be really good, really healthy. So, I'll be right back. Oh wow. I'm gonna get like a small bin for all these seasonings. And there's a lot more different seasonings I would like to buy, and I am. I just start out with the basics and add.
You got a real fast draw on a good aim, but people been fired for shooting in that camp.
The ace of spades. He stands for death.
Who's that, Aces?
I will look at the other.
Oh, you know what? I just realized that I have a mango that I need to use. So I'm gonna have to do something about that. And I keep my butter separate. This is butter that I use for baking, things like that, for my pancakes, and then different little butters. I'm gonna try using Irish butter, see if it lives up to the hype. Oh, these lemons, they've gone bad. Okay, so gotta toss them. No worries, I got a whole bag of lemons in there. I got this pan for like 20 bucks from Target. I love it already. Let me grab a
Messenger does not
spoon.
listen, for that might suffer his heart. Did not speak, for did not
So I like to multitask, do more than one thing at a time. That way it doesn't take as long. So Let's get this butter.
Maybe you should have done this man with
About a tablespoonful.
Because when the messenger death comes, it comes on the wings of the wind.
Let's get that on the stove.
Well, he can mighty well get himself
So I'm definitely gonna have to chop this mango up and use it. Got my little container over here. I still have this, voila, the turkey sausage, the different potatoes, and the different seasonings. Going to go very well. Pancake mix that I had made last week. So I just added some brown sugar to it, liven it up a bit.
I want to be doing a thing like that for.
And this is the mix, as you can see.
And they shot to give some Jasper a ride.
So I'm gonna start my
The first thing I
pancakes.
know, you pulled the gun. Parted me out of the wagon and then drove off.
And I'm gonna make a smoothie.
Looking pretty bad.
So that way I can use up this mango. So that's coming next in part 2.